Thank you. I'm charmed by my colleagues' sudden interest in Russian subversion of American elections, something that they used to describe as the Russian hoax. If only they had shown a fraction of the interest in stopping Donald Trump's sellout of the American government to Vladimir Putin on everything from NATO to Syria to Ukraine, as they're showing about the possibility that a handful of Russian diplomats could sway an advisory neighborhood commission election in DuPont Circle, America would be in a much stronger position today. Mr. Spies, several provisions of the ACE Act seek to shield or limit donor disclosure, masking the true source of funding in our elections and hampering the ability of the FEC to enforce the foreign national prohibition. The ACE Act could lead to millions of dollars in hidden foreign spending hitting our airwaves and influencing our elections. Now, I want to talk about this kind of foreign interference. As you know, it's unlawful for any person to solicit, accept, or receive a contribution or donation from a foreign national. Do you agree it's important to ensure that foreign nationals do not make a contribution or donation of money or something else of value in connection with a federal, state, or local election?
Yes.
And you are counsel to the super PAC Right to Rise USA, is that right?
Yes.
In matter under review 7122, the FEC fined Right to Rise USA and America Pacific International Capital, APIC, a California corporation controlled by two foreign national Chinese citizens, $940,000, at the time the third largest penalty the FEC had ever issued. The penalty followed reporting that identified two illegal APIC donations totaling $1.3 million to Right to Rise. Now, as I'm sure you remember, Mr. Spies, you were also fined by the FEC in this matter as the treasurer of Right to Rise. This incident is a concrete example of actual foreign interference in our elections. Shouldn't Congress be doing everything in its power to stop concrete actual foreign interference, like strengthening the ban on foreign national money and promoting disclosure of the true sources of election-related spending?
Almost everything you just stated there was factually incorrect. I would suggest the staffer who wrote that for you should research what happened there. Long story short, what you're talking about is an American subsidiary under the control of U.S. citizens that gave money to a super PAC. Everybody, including
So what was
the
the fine
commission,
for?
There was a conciliation agreement, which means that you settle with the commission. And the PAC paid
Because of foreign money, right?
It was not. It was never foreign money. The allegation was that it was U.S. money, but that a foreign national was the counsel at the foreign company by having legal review of whether it was permissible to contribute. That meant that you had a foreign citizen allegedly involved in the contribution, but it was never alleged to be foreign money. This was a U.S. money. But there was a
okay, I'm
foreign
going to have
lawyer
to cut you.
involved in
Send
it.
us a memo about the
So
rest
are you
of it. All
concerned
I've
about
got
the
is the
facts
FEC
or just-
decision. Okay, forgive me. I'm reclaiming my time.
So it's just a
I'm
chit chat?
reclaiming my time, Mr. Chairman. It's my time. Ms. Weiser, we just went through the unprecedented agony of a president of the United States trying to overthrow a presidential election, trying to get the vice president of the United States to step outside of his constitutional role and to declare the president who lost the victor in the election. We heard people not far from here chanting, hang Mike Pence, driving him out of the body. There was an attempt to substitute the loser for a winner in a presidential election. We experienced a violent insurrection. There have been hundreds of convictions. People have just been convicted of seditious conspiracy, which means conspiracy to overthrow the government. And now, instead of dealing with that reality, which poses a serious threat to the Union, a dagger pointed at the throat of the United States of America, instead our colleagues come forward with legislation to try to impose a photo ID on local elections in the District of Columbia. Do you see something as strange or perverse about this response to the actual threats to democracy in America?
Thank you for your question. I do agree that the ACE Act does not address these critical threats that are urgent and that Congress needs to address as quickly as possible heading into federal elections, and instead focuses on actually rolling back voting rights. solely in the District of Columbia.
Thank you. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
The gentleman